The last 3 years of my project management career grew so fast, it felt illegal. I took my project management career from making 100K to making over $300,000 all remotely from countries like Argentina, Mexico, and Peru. And I did it without a PMP or any insider connections. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're already a project manager. In this video, I'm going to break down the strongest growth levers that you can use so you can grow so fast it feels illegal. So number one, if I was just starting out from scratch in 2026 and I was just fresh out of university, I would first look for project coordinator roles and I would make sure that those roles are in IT. I would look for contract roles and I would make sure that I was also set up as an incorporated contractor so that I could work B2B. So first of all, why IT? It's simply the most flexible and most remote friendly and frankly, the most fastest growing industry on the planet right now. And it has the most projects and it also pays the most. And the best part is that all companies have some kind of IT department. There are literally no company that doesn't rely on IT or doesn't have an IT function. And so if you can name one, I'll be very surprised. And so what that means is that you can still be in an industry that you like healthcare or finance, but just focus on IT projects within those industries because that's where the money's at and that's where the growth is at. Now, why would I go contract versus full-time? Contract roles are like a cheat code. As a contractor, you typically make 30 to 50% more than a full-time employee, and you get to avoid the office politics. You get to level up to new projects and new responsibilities much faster, and you get to gain experience much faster because you're working for multiple different companies in a very short span of time. And the people who stay stuck are the ones who stay in a full-time project coordinator or project manager role for years because they're hoping for someone to give them a raise or a promotion. But if you were working contracts, you can jump from 70 to 80 to $100 an hour in just a few short years. So quick recap, if I was just starting out, I would look for project coordinator roles in IT on contract, and I'd work them as an incorporated contractor working B2B through an agency. The second thing I'd do to grow my project management career so fast in 2026 is creating and managing my own projects at home. I would find something that I like to do or that I want to do, maybe a business idea that I have, and I would treat it like an actual project. I would plan it out, I would execute on it, and I would do this while I'm working a full-time job. And this could be anything like building a website, starting a YouTube channel, vibe coding some kind of an app, building something with AI, starting a podcast. The point is to do something that allows you to plan the work, track the work, execute the work, and manage the work. And during this process, I'd be forced to build things like a project plan, a scope document, a timeline. I would track the risks and issues. I would coordinate with suppliers and vendors, the actual work that project managers do in large corporations. What I then do is add this experience on my resume as a project manager because I will actually have done the things that project managers do or created something tangible that project managers do, and I would have the deliverables to actually show for it. The third thing that I do then is building a public project portfolio. In 2026, we need to find ways to stand out from everyone else. And one of those ways is to build a public-facing portfolio. You can showcase your personal projects, your business ideas, your side hustles, and any kind of simulation that you've done that can really help you stand out from the crowd. And so I would build a website or a landing page where I could showcase all of my past projects, my app ideas, my deliverables from my other projects, like my project charters and my trackers and my project plans. And by doing this, and making it accessible through my resume and LinkedIn profile, this would instantly differentiate me from the crowd and allow potential hiring managers to see what I've actually done rather than just mentioning it on my resume. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen someone with an average resume get hired because they've had a solid portfolio of real evidence of the work that they've actually done. So in short, if I was looking to grow my career so fast in 2026 as a project manager, I'd make sure to have an outstanding online portfolio that I could point to as evidence of what I'm capable of. The fourth thing I'd do to grow my career crazy fast is to have my resume and LinkedIn profile professionally done. Writing your resume is a skill, building your LinkedIn profile is a skill, and the truth is your resume is like a sales document. It's not a biography. And so if your resume is not optimized for keywords, if it's not optimized for the ATS system, you're not going to be able to grow your PM career. It doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how hard you work. If your resume or profile never gets seen, guess how many opportunities you're going to get? Exactly 0. So if I had the money, I would hire a professional to write my resume and build my LinkedIn profile, or I would build it myself using ChatGPT and specific prompts to ensure that I was making it modern, highly optimized, and ATS friendly. The thing I would never do though is sending out a half-baked mediocre resume because garbage in, garbage out. Now, the same thing goes for LinkedIn. When you're on LinkedIn, you need to show up in searches, you need to look credible and polished, but you still need to come off as authentic. You need to have the right headline and have the right keywords in your profile and experience section, and you need to have a profile that looks like you're already a project manager, or at least you're in project management, you're in the project management space, and ideally in an industry that you're targeting. Now, what happens when you have a strong LinkedIn profile? You will start to get inbound messages daily from recruiters, from companies, from hiring managers, asking to see if you're available for new opportunities. I still get these messages every day on my profile, and I personally haven't even updated my profile in over a year. Now, having a polished and updated LinkedIn profile is going to be a key lever for your growth in 2026, and it leads perfectly into my next point, which is become very active on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn can be a gold mine if you use it right. It's not for posting motivational quotes. It's not for bragging. It's not for pretending to be an expert. It's simply for building relationships and connecting with the right people who can change your career. So if I were starting over, and now that I have insider knowledge, having been a project manager for 8+ years, I would specifically target the following people to connect with, and I would do it in this order. So number one, I would connect with program managers, because these are often the people that you'll be reporting to informally as a project manager. These are often the people that you will be reporting to informally as a project manager. And these are the people who are heavily interested in making sure the project moves forward and gets done on time. So as a project manager, you will likely spend a lot of time working with the program managers while on the job. And so what that means is that program managers often have a lot of input, or sometimes can even be the sole decision makers for hiring the project manager for the projects that are inside their program. So I would make it a point to reach out to program managers and build relationships with them so that when they have projects, they think of me. The second role I would target are senior managers in specific departments. So think of like senior managers in application delivery, or senior managers in data analytics, senior managers in cybersecurity. It is typically senior managers that will work with recruiters and agencies or internal HR teams to post the job requisition online. And so it is typically the senior manager who will do the first interview. It is typically the senior manager that you'll be reporting to from an admin perspective. And so by connecting with senior managers, you are opening yourself up for new opportunities if and when they become available. The third person, or the last person that I would target on LinkedIn, are PMO directors, because as a PM, you will likely meet the PMO director during the interview process. And the PMO director also has visibility to all the portfolios, all the programs that are happening within the PMO, within their company. And so by connecting with them and making a good impression, they can easily and quickly determine where you as a project manager with your skills and experience might be a good fit on one of their portfolios or one of their programs as a project manager. Now, just to be clear, when being active on LinkedIn, it does not mean that I'm asking people for a job. I'm building networks, I'm building relationships, I'm connecting with them, I'm learning, I'm asking good questions, I'm becoming visible on their feed and on their DMs. And here you need to play the long game. This is where I wouldn't expect results immediately. This will absolutely help you grow your PM career really fast, just not in 1 or 2 weeks, but more like 3 to 6 months. And so the sooner you start, the sooner you'll start to see results. And this is how people get interviews for jobs that they never even applied for. The next thing I do to grow my PM career super fast is connect with agencies and recruiters. These are the people that bridge the gap between you and high-paying contract roles inside companies. So I would look for IT, project management type recruiting firms in my area. I would email them, I would call them, I would go in person and start building a connection with them so that when they have an opportunity, they reach out to me. And I would keep a list of all the agencies that I've contacted, who I've spoken with, and make it a regular part of my process to follow up with them and connect with them and make sure that I'm set up in their databases so that I will show up for roles that match my resume and experience. And once you build a good relationship with a recruiter, they will fast track your resume. They will prep you for interviews. They will tell you things that the hiring manager wants to hear. They will submit you for jobs that are not even available online and help you get higher rates so that you can make more money. And this is one of the biggest levers in growing your PM career, is connecting with the right agencies, making relationships with the recruiters and agencies that have access to these high paying contracts. And so make sure you don't skip this one. Now, the last lever in growing your PM career super fast is getting obsessed with personal development. If your income is not growing, it's probably because your skill set is not growing. The fastest growing PMs, the ones that go from $80K to $150K to $220K to $300,000 are the ones that are continuously working on themselves, working on their self-growth, working on growing new skills and learning new skills. And in particular, they invest heavily in skills like communication and leadership. time management, problem solving, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and fostering the right mindset and attitude. These are the skills and intangibles that as you work on them, they shine through in your personality, they shine through in your interview process, and will undoubtedly become the reason why you get hired. And believe it or not, these are the skills that will translate to becoming more effective and getting more results on the job as a project manager. And so if I had to rebuild my entire project management career from scratch and I wanted to build it so fast, I would start out looking for project coordinator roles in IT, working contracts, B2B, and I would build my own projects at home and actually execute on them and create a portfolio and include those projects inside that portfolio so I could showcase that to recruiters and hiring managers and have that publicly facing. I would also make sure to have my resume and LinkedIn profile professionally optimized by a professional, or at least build it myself using ChatGPT and have it run through an ATS before sharing it out publicly. I would make sure to get active on LinkedIn and start connecting with program managers, senior managers, and PMO directors. I would build relationships with recruiters and agencies. And lastly, I would invest heavily in my own personal development. And these levers, when combined, will create unstoppable growth. And that's the reason why my career took off. And that's the reason why people inside the Eddie system in my community are growing so fast. And so that's also the reason why you can start or grow your career so fast in 2026 as a project manager that it will feel illegal. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you're serious about becoming a project manager, if you're serious about making six figures and really growing your career really fast, I invite you to join my community of aspiring project managers, of career transitioners, PMP holders, everyone on the same path who's looking to start a career in project management or level up into a project manager role and start making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it. So I invite you to my community, the Eddie system. Check the link below. And if nothing else, like and subscribe to this video. I've got a lot more content coming out. So I'll see you on the next one.